Kingdom Reese. Today is July 26th, and we are talking about Zion Williamson. We're going to talk about his contract. We're going to talk about the playoffs, expectations for the Pelicans, and his overall projection in the league. So, first off, number one overall pick out of Duke, suffered a injury that looks scary. He came back. Duke was like one of the best teams, young teams since the UNLV running Rebels. They made a nice little run in the NCAA, but they didn't quite make the Final Four, win the championship like some people predicted. But then Zion Williamson declared for the draft as expected, went number one, and unexpectedly, he got picked by the New Orleans Pelicans, which had one of the lowest shots of landing him. So he gets picked by the Pelicans. They retooled, they trained Anthony Davis, they added a lot of pieces around him, and they expect to make a push for the playoffs, which I mean, they have a nice team and everything. They got a shitload of people back from Anthony Davis trade. They got Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, the fourth pick who they flipped again. And then they still have Drew Holiday on the team. They signed Derek Favors and they signed JJ Redick. So they got a nice little squad, a nice little mix of veterans, older veterans like Redick, mid-tier veterans like Favors, and then young players who still got question marks, still see if they're going to blossom into superstars or all-stars. Let's go with superstars first because you still got Brandon Ingram. He got he had the blood clot situation that he should be cleared for. It's not going to be as scary as Chris Bosh's blood clot situation. So we still want to see if Brandon Ingram can see if he can blossom into a all-star. You have Lonzo Ball, who expectations should be a little bit lower. Now he's not playing outside of his hometown. He's into a smaller market, and let's see if his game matures and his game expands. We saw what happened with D'Angelo Russell when he got traded from the Lakers to the Brooklyn Nets, and he became an all-star in the East. Now, the Pelicans got a nice little mix. They got a nice little mix, got a lot of interchangeable parts. You can do a lot with that lineup. They still have Jahlil Okafor, who had a nice little few games with them last year, coming off the bench, and then also spelling Anthony Davis in the times where he wasn't starting, when they was trying to manage his minutes and things of that nature, because they didn't want him to get hurt, knowing they was trying to trade him in the offseason. So they got a nice little lineup. They can do a lot of different things with that lineup. They got shooters around them, Josh Hart, JJ Redick. I'm surprised JJ Redick went there, by the way. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't go to like a contending team where he can help them win a championship. But he went to a situation where he could make his money because players want their money first and foremost. I mean, so you get older and older and you already made your money and you tapped out and it's like, all right, I made enough money. Now let me go chase my ring. Players want to make their money, bottom line. So I think he went to make his money. They gave him the best offer. And then he can mentor young people. I think that Duke connection could have had something to do with it. He's playing with Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, two former Duke players. You get to go play with Duke. I'm not sure how big that factor, right? But out of a scale of 1 to 10, I get a good about 10 to 15% chance that has something to do with it. Who else do you have? So, like I said, they can do a lot with this lineup. So, if you're going to just start, let's say you start Lonzo Ball and Drew Holiday, you got Ingram at the 4, Zion Williamson Ingram at the 3, Williamson at the 4, and you can start Favors at the 5, or you can start Okafor, Favors, Zion at the 3, have Ingram come off the bench. Rotation wise, you can even you can have Ingram play the point with Drew Holiday and have Zion there, and you can go super big with Zion and Favors and Okafor at center, or you could do Drew Holiday, JJ Redick, and go small with Josh Hart. Or they got a nice little mix of pieces where they can match up well with a lot of different teams. They can match up with the Lakers. They can go small ball, play with Golden State, Portland, Portland can go big or small. Like they have a lot of nice little lineups. I just don't think they have enough talent to make the playoffs though. Um, the West is loaded. Like who are they making the playoffs over? I know like a lot of teams like 35-30 and like Bobby Marks from ESPN said the Pelicans will make the team. Greeny on Get Up, he said they going to make the playoffs, but seriously, like I don't think Zion's going to have that big of an impact when he gets to the NBA that a lot of people think he is to push them into the playoffs. His game is limited. His game is purely athleticism and strong ball. So he's best to see in the open court. I think he's going to be must see TV. Like you should go see him. Like I'm good. I live in Miami. I'm going as soon as this schedule comes out. I'm going to see him as a rookie because I want to see him as a rookie, and I want to see him 5, 6, 7 years from now to see how he progresses. But I think that the first 4 to 5 years is when you want to see Zion Williamson because he's a straight athlete. He's a freak of nature, and guys like this only come around maybe like once a decade, maybe like every 7 years. So if you think back, the last guy like him with this type of hype and this type of body is Blake Griffin. Before that, it was maybe like who, like Vince Carter, and then before that we had Sean Kemp and Dominique Wilkins. So you only get this type of player every 7, 8 years. You know, not even every 10 years, but so a little bit less than that. So, but these guys never really pan out and become that ultra superstar. So he's definitely like a must see TV. But let me backtrack and talk about who's gonna make the playoffs for sure. So you got the Clippers, so that's one team. All right. This is no particular order. I'm just throwing teams out there. You got the Lakers. They're gonna make the playoffs. They got AD, they got LeBron. They're gonna make the playoffs for sure. How far they go, we'll see. You got the Rockets. You got Westbrook. You got Harden. Whether you believe it's going to work or not, they got enough talent to make the playoffs, even in the West. They're not missing the playoffs. Golden State, if Steph Curry is healthy for 70 games, they're going to go to the playoffs. He is that good. He's that big of a difference maker, and they have enough talent around him with Draymond Green, D'Angelo Russell. They're going to make the playoffs. So that's four. Utah, they upgraded. They got Donovan Mitchell going into his third year. He's going to be better than he was last year. He didn't have the sophomore season we expected. A lot of guys, they have a sophomore slump. They have more expectations on them. They don't perform as well because the spotlight is on them now. Now they go back in the offseason like, hold up, I really got to work because niggas is gunning for me. He's going to be at a song in Black Ops getting buckets. Just straight getting buckets. Running with Chris Brickley, he was just straight getting buckets. And I'm like, yo, this guy's going to be ready. He's going to come back even better. They upgraded their point guard. They got Conley. He's way better than Rubio. He's going to give him some defense, some leadership. Utah's going to make the playoffs for sure. They could be a top 3 seed easy. They could be 3 to 7. That's how tough the West is. That's how tough the West is. You got Denver. You got Joker, and you got Jamal Murray. Murray's getting better every single year. Another one as a point guard can get buckets, and then they got a nice little squad too. So that's 6, 7. Who am I missing? Golden State, Denver, Portland. How the I got to the 17. I'm just now getting to Portland, who had the second best record, the third best record in the league last year, and made the conference finals. You know, so you got Dame Lillard and T.J. McCollum. Um, what's name comes back later on that year, but and they just traded for Whiteside. So Whiteside to give him an edge. He'll get some blocks and play some defense for him. And then they get Nurkic back later on that season. And then they drafted Little from North Carolina. People keep forgetting that's a nice little sneaky draft pick that's going to give them that third score that they've been missing. And they re-signed Rodney Hood. They're going to have Rodney Hood for the entire season. And Rodney Hood coming off the bench is a much more better player than Evan Turner. So they can be anywhere from 1 to 7. Like, so I got 7 locks. Period. 7 locks. And you still got Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Sacramento, who's going to be improved. They're gonna have Harrison Barnes for the entire year now. They're gonna have De'Aaron Fox on third year, who's going to get better. Minnesota, they still solid, but can you really put Memphis above Minnesota? They got a lot of the similar makeup, similar type of talent. So they were almost like very similar teams. You got Dallas with Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis for the entire year. Are they better than the Pelicans? Like, and then you got Phoenix Suns. Like Phoenix Suns is still probably like the last team in the league, but shit, yeah, Phoenix is the last team in not the league, but in the West. So the West, they pretty much go 15 deep, dog. 15 deep. So where the Pelicans making the playoffs at? I just don't see it. If there are any odds for them to not make the playoffs, I would definitely put my odds that they won't make it. Easy bet. I seen they over and under for wins is 37.5. I'll take the under for sure. That's a good line to set. Most definitely. It's going to be tough. If they get over, can they get over? I can see them getting 38, 39 wins, but that's still not making the playoffs in the West. That's still missing the playoffs. So, you know, I, I don't see them making the playoffs at all. I'm taking it under. And let's go back to what I was talking about earlier. Let's go back to Zion Williamson. How good can he be? Is he going to be a superstar? Like everybody keep comparing him to LeBron James, but he's no LeBron James. He doesn't have the court vision. He doesn't have the wherewithal, the game knowledge. He's really just an athletic wing who needs the ball on the break, and that's it. That's all he can do. He just have to out athletic. He has to outmuscle you and out. He doesn't. He's not going to outplay you. He's just going to beat you because he's just a bigger physical specimen than you've ever seen, and that's it. So I just don't see the pure game from him. Like, you know, he doesn't have a jump shot, and I don't think he'll ever have a pure jump shot. Not even a pure jump shot. He won't ever develop into like a consistent shooter from the outside, from 3 point or more, 15 feet or more. 3 point range, like his ceiling is like 35, 37% from threes. He's never going to shoot over 40%. Like I said, he will never lead a team to a finals as a number one player. He would have to be an ancillary player. He's going to have to be like a number two or number three player. Again, look at his athleticism. That's where his game revolves around. Look at Russell Westbrook or John Wall. These are point guards, but what I'm trying to tell you is that his game is all athleticism. Sean Kemp, Vince Carter, Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin does have some skill, but for the mostly all athleticism. Uh, Dominique Wilkins. These guys are all athletes. Like if you want to do a straight athlete, these motherfuckers will just run up and down the court, no holds barred, dunk on you like crazy. But they don't win. These type of players don't win in the long run. So with Jordan Brand giving him all that money, I mean, it's good and all. He's going to be a draw. He's going to be a box office draw. You definitely go see him because these guys like this, they have like a 5 to 7 year shelf life. You got to see them early. Then after that, they tail off. And then if the athleticism goes, their game goes. So he should definitely for sure be seen very early. Like I live in East Coast, so he only gonna come to my town once. I live in Miami. I'm definitely gonna see him, but after that, he's gonna fall off after a while. Um, so like I said, then getting back to his newly signed contract, he just signed with Brand Jordan, 75 million. Good for him. Clap, thumbs up, 100. You got your bag. That's what's up. Even though I heard that you could have got a little bit more money elsewhere, like maybe like with Puma. Last year, Puma came in, and snatched up all the draft picks. I was like, what the fuck? Like, wow. But Puma's been putting on some shit, and they've been signing a lot of rappers and stuff like that. Jay Z, Meek Mill, and Puma got some shit. They got some nice clean lays. I'm still not sure what they basketball sneakers, but outside of basketball sneakers, they stuff look good. But I'm still not sure if Zion signed with Brand Jordan because Brand Jordan has never really produced that signature shoe outside of the Jordan and the retros. They never really produced a player who's marketing to the masses like that. Westbrook has never had no great shoe. Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, Melo, Kawhi Leonard, none of these dudes have ever had a crazy shoe that's like, oh shit, I gotta go out and cop. Like that's gonna sell out. All these shoes all look the same. They all look like gym shoes that you have in sixth grade that you just need to want to pay somebody $65 just to play ball and that's it. But you're not telling nobody that you went out and copped them. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is not on your wish list as a birthday gift. It's like, ooh, I want these. Nah, you don't want these. Like, nah. They just some afterthought sneakers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Unless Nike is going to send some of these best designers to Brand Jordan that help him design a signature shoe that people gonna go out and buy. I just don't get why he didn't sign with Nike other than Brand Jordan. Now, if he's going to play in Jordans this entire year, like, and they're gonna make some um, PE editions that's going to look like they have color that's going to have like Pelicans color schemes. And that would be fire. Like we get some Jordan threes with some Pelican color schemes with the gold. That's going to be fire. You get the taxis with like the royal blue, little gold trimming on the outside. That'd be hot. You know what I mean? But just to play in some regular brand Jordans for the first couple of years, nah, I ain't with that. But now they, like I said, they make some player edition like regular like Jordan retros that's gonna come out, like some fives, some Space Jams types, with some patent leather ones, like some blue patent, like royal blue patent leather ones. That should be fire. So now on that note, I can't front the young man. A lot of people love Jordan growing up, and you want to wear Jordan. You thought about wearing Jordans in the NBA. I mean, he could have signed with Nike and still wore Jordans. I don't think he understood that part. You know what I mean? He could have signed with Nike and still wore brand Jordans. You know what I mean? But now they could hopefully make him his own Jordans with the Zion on the back or some Duke logos or what I mean, something unique like that. But truth, time will tell. And his body makeup, like he's athletic, but he look out of shape. Like what I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's like that fat guy with skinny legs. When you see the, you know what I mean, when you see the fat guy with skinny legs, his legs be skinny as shit. Or the dude at the gym be ripped as shit, but he got the big ass gut. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you don't do abs. You just bench press weights. You know what I mean, dog? You don't do no cardio. It's just all bench press. You got these big ass arms, but you got good. That, that's Zion Williamson. He athletic as shit, but he looked chunky. Like you know what I mean? Like he had all this baby fat, and it could be baby fat. This motherfucker only is 19, 20, so he could be growing into himself. And if he grow into his body to 22, 23, and this all that baby fat shed, and that shit turns solid muscle, it's gonna be crazy. But he's so athletic and so raw and just so much energy. It's just like he looks like a injury waiting to happen. That's all. Like a blown knee, a blown ACL, and who knows if with a blown ACL and he relies so much on his athleticism and jumping ability, then it could really hinder the rest of his game going forward. So no one's wishing this on him at all, but it's just that if it happens, it's not a surprise at all. So, I mean, that's all I got to say about Zion Williamson. I wish him the best. I want to see him in person, but I don't think he's going to be a true number one. Like, I think he's going to be like a nice little all-star, perennial all-star. He'll never win an MVP in a regular season. He'll never win a Finals MVP, but he will have a nice long career and average like 18, 24 points, make a lot of fucking highlights. You know what I mean? Put fans in the seats, but he's not gonna be that number one player. So we're gonna have to see and watch out for him. So that's it. Brandon Reese signing off. Peace.